Welcome to The Goat, where we share our opinions on hot topics and let you know what's got our goat on a weekly basis. My name is Robbie and I'm here with my co-host Sharo. Let's get into it. Alrighty, let's do it. What do you want to chat about?
I want to talk about pronouns.
Pronouns. Go for it.
Look, I'm a little bit confused. First of all, I want to say that at no point in time, am I discriminating against a person for any orientation, gender, or anything that they want to be, want to feel, any of that sort of jazz. Mm-hmm. Just do you. But pronouns are kind of doing my head in a little bit.
Yep.
I don't even really know where to start. So look, let's talk about he, she, him, her, his, her, himself, herself. What?
So before we start talking, you know how I love Twitter. So I was going through Twitter this morning, and I found a post of a TikTok where a school teacher posted something about her classroom. And I knew that we'd probably be talking about pronouns, so I saved the link. So I just want to play it to you.
Okay.
Because it shows that even the people who are into pronouns are confused.
Okay. See, I'm starting to feel better now. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
So, all right. So, ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, TikTok, I really need your help here on this one. I'm a teacher. I teach 5th and 6th grade, and this morning, I don't know, somehow the concept of pronouns came up. And one of my students said, well, Miss Odell, did you even ask me my pronouns? And I was like, whoa. I hadn't actually asked him his pronouns, and I had called him a him, and I said, I'm so sorry, I haven't actually asked you what your pronouns are, and what are they? And he said, Banana said, banana and rock. And I was like, dude, no, don't mess around. I was actually really upset because I thought he was making fun of it. And in fact, I'm still pretty sure he was making fun of it. And, but they all agreed, no, you can choose anything. Banana, rock, if you want banana and rock to be a pronoun, banana and rock's your pronoun. Is it? TikTok, tell me. Okay, TikTok, I really need you.
No, stop. Stop.
So.
Stop.
Let me fix this up.
Stop.
All right.
No. Stop. That's enough. That is just enough.
So
I think people are just taking this way too far.
Yeah, well, that's what I thought. So when I saw that, I was just like, wow. So that's a 5th grade classroom, and when she wanted to say no, you can't. That's not right. The whole class went, well, no, actually, you can have that.
Yeah, you can.
So
I thought about it as well. And it was like, a pronoun is a word that refers to either the people talking about, I or you, or someone or something that is being talked about, like she, it, them, and this. Gender pronouns, he, she, they, z, etc., specifically refer to the person you are referring to. Like already, what the? And then it's not. So basically, I'm just looking at that going, so does that not mean that someone or something is being talked about, or the people talking about what? And that's now the person's identity. Like as that lady, what, a banana and a rock? Come on.
Yeah, right.
Pronouns, plural. The third person personal pronouns such as he, him, she, her, and they, them that a person goes by. Look, go by Mary Jane Rottencrotch. I don't care what you're going to go by. Don't care. Change your name. Do whatever floats your boat. That's fine. But why are we talking about ourselves in the third person, first of all? There's one of you. There's not a he, she. There's one of you. singular. And he is a male person. You're male. She is a female person. Him, her. Still a male or a female. And you're actually not an object. You're a human being. Well, are you though?
But that's the thing. So, when you say that, people are going to say, well, what if I'm non-binary? So what if I don't identify as a him, her? What if I'm none of those things? So that's why first they them came along.
Okay, and that's fine. Well, not really, but how? If,
So the way I think of it is so I'm all for language. Language is fluid and it changes, and
I hate that word.
well, it is. That's what language by nature is. That
Fluid.
so it changes over time. You know, for instance, the word girl was way back when was just a name of a child. So there was a girl knave, which was usually a boy. So it slowly started to transition into just being a female child, and then we had boy was something else, and that transferred into being a male child. So language changes. So I understand that, and I understand that, you know, for some people, he, she, and all those sort of things probably don't go with what they identify. They, them, sometimes for me is hard to get my head around because it is more of a plural word to me, but I'm fine with that merging. What I think people who like to use other pronouns like they, them, and ze, zer, and all those sort of things need to understand is that right now, that's not really in the English language. That's made up. That always made up. But how they get to be in the sort of language is that lots of people use them and identify and recognize them. Well, people don't at this point in time. So you can't get angry at people for saying, what? They, them? I'm not using that. That's not a real word. Because it's not as popular. It might be popular to the people who want us to use it or the people who want to identify as a they, them. But you
stop. No, stop. What is a they, then?
Well, that's it. That's it. That's exactly right. So
that's just made up.
Exactly. And all words are made up.
You're a his. Yes, that still belongs to a him, and that still belongs to male. And if you're a her, that still belongs to being a female. So you're a female.
Yep.
Himself or herself. Come on. Male or female. Your gender is either of two sexes, male or female. Now, if you want to correspond and establish ideas of male and female, and then comes into this him, her, etc., good for you. Go for it. Go for it. You know, whatever you need to do. And you can identify as whatever you like. But the reality is you're human, unless there's something we don't know about. And either male or female, unless you were born with both DNA or both sexual organs. And then, you know, that's something completely different, hermaphrodite, etc., etc.
But then, but the thing is, you're gonna have a lot of people who won't take that. You know,
good for them. Yeah. You know, good for them, because it's called factus. If you decide, if you were born genetically male and then you decide, you know, I want to become a female, then you become a woman. That tick, done. You know, you've gone ahead and transitioned, you become transgender, and you've gone from a man to a woman or a woman to a man. And then you can call yourself a man, a woman, etc., so forth, what have you. And look, if you don't want to be called a man or a woman, go by your name. Call you if your name's Jack, be Jack.
Yeah.
Don't be male, don't be female. Just be the name that you're given. And if you don't like the name that you were given at birth, change it to a name you like. But having people rock around and say that they're a banana or a rock or any of that sort of stuff, no, sorry. Okay, I'm a chair.
Yeah, look,
Yeah.
yeah, like some of this language is crazy. I absolutely agree with you because
Come on.
but what if you identify as non-binary? Okay, so I'm just giving you an examples here. So let's say you identify as non-binary. Your gender expression, you look like a guy, and most people would say you're probably let's say you're a biological man. You look like a man. So people aren't always going to call you your name because people aren't going to know your name. And, if I just meet you once, I'm not going to remember your name because you don't mean enough to me for me to remember your name. And I'm not being mean. I'm just saying we're probably never going to meet again. So people are going to say he. Because we don't always use people's names in our sentence structure because English isn't like that. We do use these pronouns.
But that's fine. So people can say he.
Yeah, but then
And then that individual can then turn around and say, no, I'm blah, blah.
But then they get mad about that.
Well, let them get mad. No, come on. Where's the line? Be mad.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Tell them what you want to be called. I don't think that everyone has to go around specifically asking, what's your pronoun?
No, I mean it.
No, come on. Like, no.
I think
ridiculous.
This sort of thing about what's your pronoun and your pronouns being so front of mind is because we've gotten to the point in Western culture that we have too much time on our hands. So
Way too much
we
time.
start thinking about this because do you really think those people in Ukraine, you really think people in Ukraine are thinking to themselves, I really wish people would call me Zim? No, they're thinking my home is being blown up.
Or my loved one just died.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Come on.
You really think in places like Afghanistan, they're thinking to myself, I really wish people wouldn't call me a she because I'm non-binary. No, I'm actually got the full hijab and stuff on because the Taliban are in control.
And look, if you want to be non-binary, be non-binary.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I don't need to work that out for you, and I don't need to participate in working that out with you.
Yeah.
That's kind of the thing. So, be whatever you want to be. You're not sure, if you identify as man, woman. Okay, that's your issue that you need to work out with your support group, your doctors, therapists, etc.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is, while you're working that out, you are still a man or a woman. Again, unless I said you've had a sex change.
Yeah.
And that's a kettle of fish. But apart from that,
yeah. And you know what?
Don't care.
You're not. When people get it wrong or what you think is wrong, you can be as mad as you want, but you're not that important enough for the whole world to remember your pronouns. You're just not.
1,000%.
You're just not.
1,000%.
And you know what? When in a couple of 100 years' time, when anthropologists are digging up your bones, they are going to name you male or female.
Correct.
They're not going to care what your gender expression was or whether you identified as non-binary or.
You're going to have unless you have a etched
engraved on your bones. Yeah. You're going to be male or female. Simple as that.
Do what you like. I don't have to work out your pronoun. I just have to work out whether you're a nice person, really.
Yes, yeah. And also because there are people who now have non-human pronouns.
No, stop.
No, there are. So either animal pronouns or alien pronouns. So they're non-human pronouns.
No, see, that is when go and book yourself a session with your psychiatrist.
Because I'm never going to be on board with that. Because you're not. Were you born on this planet? Yes, then you're not an alien.
No. as I said, I'm very strongly in support of be who you want to be, identify whatever you
Same.
know
Yep. Same. Do whatever
doesn't
you want.
impact on me. Be who the hell
Yep.
you want to be, and it's no one else's business.
That's it.
But when you start, did you ask me what my pronoun was? No, I didn't, and I'm never going
Do I
to.
care? No.
Because I'm going to say, hi, nice to
And
meet you. And then if I stuff up along the way, you can let me know.
Yep.
Or can you please call me such and such? That's what I identify as. Okay, no worries.
And so there's a couple of other things. I was going through TikTok a few weeks ago, this one was, and I stopped on a TikTok, and he, she, Zim, Zero, wouldn't be able to tell you, says, during the TikTok, they were like, oh, and halfway through the day, I was walking down the street, and then bang, my pronouns changed, and suddenly I was a boy, but I didn't have any pants or a hat or anything. And I was like, what? Yeah, that's what they said.
Now, is this people in the community that are actually having some form of nervous breakdown? Well, are they having some sort of mental delusion? That starts to kind of go into another territory.
Right? If your pronouns and your identity, your gender identity is playing that much on your mind that you can be walking down the street and suddenly you're a different gender, then I'm sorry, there's something wrong with you.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not being funny or whatever. There is something fucking wrong with you. You need to go and see someone.
Yeah, 1,000%.
Because that's
weird shit.
And then also, you're saying that you were walking down the street and suddenly you're a man or a boy or whatever, but you didn't have any pants.
Stop.
So why are you saying that you have to wear pants if you're a boy? Like, you just, on one hand, you're saying, don't box me into these gender-specific ideals. And then on the other hand, you're saying, to express my gender identity, I want to be using these pigeonhole things like boys wear pants and... Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
And look, isn't it part of growing up that, when people say, I had so many issues with growing up with my identity and getting confused about things. It's like normal human instinct to question and to think, about your sexuality, who you are in the world, what your place is in the world. And I just think it's gone too far with putting labels on it.
Absolutely. Well, I was watching a podcast the other day, and it was they had a psychologist on, and they were saying in the past, if you had a sort of effeminate boy who, liked to wear dresses or whatever, they were probably just gay.
Mm-hmm.
But now what she was saying is that she worries that now society are telling that person, well, actually... you're trans.
Yeah.
So, and this is coming from a psychologist. So this is not coming from some keyboard warrior or right-wing blah, blah, or blah, blah, blah. This is coming from a psychologist who was saying she, in her profession, they're seeing this and she gets concerned that we're putting this trans label on this person when really they're just a feminine boy and they're just gay or straight even wearing a dress.
Just work it out.
Yeah.
And then they'll just be whatever they want to be.
Yeah, but we're so jumping on people going, well, you're trans then.
Yeah.
You're a
girl. That comes into, the label thing.
Yeah.
We're so consumed with labeling everything.
Yes.
Oh, I'm bisexual. I'm gay. I'm straight.
Well, have you ever watched that show on the ABC where they ask groups of people tough questions? I can't remember what it's called, but they'll have like people who've been to prison and they'll have tough questions. So they did one on gay people. So they had a whole heap of gay people on there and, asking all these tough questions. And one person they had on there, she started off, I don't even know which pronouns to use because they started off as a female. So they're a biological female who was straight, and then she decided that she was a lesbian, and then she decided she transed, so she was a straight man, and now she's a gay guy. So she's pretty much. No, but the funny thing is, like, she's pretty much done it all.
Yeah, she's covered all bases.
Like, he's,
he has now covered all bases because it's now a he.
This was a few months ago, so you never know because they've gone through lots of different changes.
Yep.
So it was just and now they're on a show as a gay guy, and I was just like that's kind of the epitome of this whole conversation. I was like, wow. Like, that's just
go all out.
Yeah, like hopefully I don't know whether they've had a penis built, but at least you get to pick your size and what it looks like. And
well, that's true.
Custom made, sort of stuff. So
custom designed.
And I was just like, wow, that's the times that we live in. That you could just pretty much be anything. So
when you were saying the word fluid. I'm hearing that a lot. Social media, even on telly as well, and it's kind of like, where does this one come from too? And like, again, if you want to dabble your toe in whatever pond you want to do it, just do it. Here we go with another label. I know I'm sexually fluid. What?
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
so,
there.
Excellent. Why do I need to know that? Number one, just go about your business, and if you want to dabble over there, dabble over there. If you want to dabble over here, dabble over here.
I think it's the
both. Go for it.
It's the veganism disease, where I'm vegan, so I have to tell everyone that I'm vegan. So, by the way, I'm vegan. By the way, I'm pansexual and I'm vegan.
No, and you're probably wearing leather shoes.
Yes, but it's just so funny. It really, for generations of people who don't want to be boxed in and labelled, they do really, really well at labelling themselves.
Damn that label!
Yeah,
like the biggest neon sign in the world. I don't label my identity, but I'm going to label my identity.
Yeah, and you've got to call me that, otherwise that's a hate crime.
Correct. No, you're discriminating against me.
Well, it's a term of violence, apparently.
It's actually against the law in Australia.
It's crazy.
To discriminate. It is unlawful to discriminate against a person on the basis of sexual orientation, gender identity, and intersex status under a federal law.
Crazy.
And look, no one's discriminating. Well, I'm sure there's that pocket of, Neanderthals out there that do, but put them aside because they're just not interesting. Is that, again, I'm not discriminating and neither are you. And majority of people just don't care what your sexual orientation is, who your gender is, who you identify as, sexual status, any of that.
Couldn't give a shit.
It doesn't actually matter.
Nope.
But it does start to matter a little bit if you're going to identify as objects.
Yes, yeah.
So that's kind of where, as we were saying, that it's just, book that appointment in, honey.
Yeah, that's it. Because I'm not, under nowhere in this world am I ever going to use a cat pronoun for you. I don't care. I don't give a fucking shit if you want to roam around your house and pee in a litter box, go for it. Absolutely go for it. Couldn't give a fuck. If you want to run down the street with a tail on and lick whatever, I don't care. Go for it. But I'm not going to call you a cat pronoun. I'm just not.
No, I'm not.
I'm not. And an alien, if you can prove that you're from another planet, I will call you an alien pronoun, no problem.
Absolutely.
But you're fucking not.
No, you're not. You're not a banana. You're not a chair. You're not any of those things. Happening. You're a human being, which is also questionable.
Yep. If you want to record they, them, I'm happy with they, them. And if I'm going to know you for a while and have to converse with you for quite a while, then I will use your name. Like performance reports at that place that we used to work at, I would always use people's names. I'd never used any pronouns when I was writing people's performance reports. Always use their names.
Yep.
Never used, she's done well, this, blah, blah. I always use their names. So then that way it doesn't matter. Always use their name. So I'm happy to do that. No problem. I'm not going to remember that you like to be called Zay. I'm not, because I'm sorry, I'm not. I'd actually rather not talk to you. I'm just not. That. Like, if you want to be called Zay, I'll call you they or them.
No, I'm not.
And as I said, if your name's worth remembering, I'll call you your name.
I just won't call you.
Yeah, exactly. I just won't converse with you. It's no sweat. I don't care. I don't really like people. So
I think people have got enough to deal with in their lives.
Absolutely.
That just not worrying about they, them, it, and as mentioned, we cannot be clearer that be who you want to be.
Oh, could give a shit.
Do what you want to do.
Yep.
But doesn't mean I need to participate in that.
And can I just say that as these conversations go forward, I am going to get less and less. Am I going to start stipulating that I don't care what you do and rah, 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 rah. Because I shouldn't have to keep exclaiming that. Shouldn't have to keep going, oh, well, I don't care whether you're gay, straight, he, the, whatever. I'm sick of having to say that. Because you can't actually have an opinion on something unless you first speak for 10 minutes about do what you want and blah, blah, blah. And, you shouldn't have to do that.
You're right, and because someone's going to get offended by something somehow, somewhere. Look, someone will probably look at my face and be offended. And
I'm looking at your face right now, and I am highly offended. So, if anyone's going to be called, I'm going to go pirate pronouns for you right now.
Nasty pasty. Thanks for listening, everyone. Like, subscribe, and comment. And we'll see you next time.